Yo, welcome to the video. Today we'll be doing a frost run through of Dark Souls 3. Quite an interesting build, very niche weapons, so we're gonna go deprived just cause we got a couple weapon types, dex and strength, so just so we can get some fluidity, we'll go Young White Branch, skip a small segment of Under Settlement. We're gonna go all black, that fully frostbitten look, and let's get into it. So just a bit about the build. There are 6 weapons. 4 of them have built-in frost damage. 2 of them, the aerosol weapons, don't. You have to use a special ability, L2. And there are 2 sorceries which are useless, in my opinion. So we're gonna need to kill Gundyr and Vort before we can obtain our first frost weapon, the Aerithal Straight Sword, which we won't use for that much. There's more interesting weapons to use, to be honest. And yeah, Udix Gundyr goes down fast. Club is surprisingly useful. I usually parry him, so I wasn't ready for the stun look. As phase 2 starts, Gundyr gets sent down once again, and we can just easily finish him off. It's one of the 2 bosses down. Before we head over to the High Wall of Lothric, we're just gonna grab some things around Firelink, namely the Estus Shard and the covetous Silver Serpent Ring. We'll do that again. Alright, here's the ring. And since we need 30 strength for Vort's Great Hammer, we're gonna dump our souls into strength for now, and make our way into High Wall of Lothric. Not much to do around High Wall of Lothric. We're just gonna grab the gold pine resin, which is useful against Vort. And I've definitely played this game before, trust me. We're gonna kill this guy for no reason whatsoever. And head down towards Vort, our second boss, before we can obtain our first frost weapon. And now Vort goes down pretty fast, acceptably. Vort's very easy, especially with the gold pine resin. The club does wonders, surprisingly, unupgraded. With the start of phase 2, it's just ad nauseam. We roll until we find an opening. Once he does his breath attack, just go ham. Nothing more to say. With Vort down, we can finally progress towards our first frost weapon. Grab the small Lothric banner required to progress. Make our way down through the Undead Settlement. We're just gonna run past everything. We don't need to grab anything in this area in particular. We just need to make it to the end, where there's an elevator holding a Boreal Aragonite. We'll be back for this boss once we've gathered our first weapon, and head down towards the second bonfire. 4 of the weapons on our list are upgraded by Twinkling Titanites, which are abundant later in the game, but early game we don't have that much supply, so we need to be careful which weapons we choose to use. We'll talk to our boy up here, Sigurd. I won't be doing any character quest lines, but in case you do want to see me do quest lines in these runs, just let me know down in the comments and I'll be sure to do them. We'll be taking on the Boreal Aragonite in a very fair way to grab our first weapon. DD scaling, strength and dex, 55 frost build-up, quite decent for a first weapon. I can see why. I used this on my first playthrough actually. And yeah, standard straight sword moveset, nothing too interesting. We're here for the frost build-up, that's it. And we'll be using this to take on the Curse-Rotted Greatwood, which fortunately my footage got corrupted for, so trust me, I did kill him. But now with the Transposing Kiln in hand, we can use it to get our first actual weapon. Interesting weapon, my phrase. The Vort's Great Hammer, by trading in Vort's Soul. Yeah, 110 frost buildup per hit. Very, very strong frost buildup. But it is slow, so honestly the same thing as the straight sword. Standard Great Hammer moveset. R2s are quite slow. L1's decent, very strong. And the L2 attack, not really an attack, it's more of a skill, perseverance. Situational at best. Yeah, don't be like me and get greedy. And this weapon does upgrade with Titanite scales, which are dropped by these ravenous crystal lizards. So we'll just round some up. We'll level this weapon up. We'll be using this weapon for quite some time until we can obtain the Aerithal weapons, which don't have innate frost buildup actually. but their skills, their L2s do. And we'll be taking on Crystal Sage, which gets heavily damaged by this weapon. Heavy poison damage as well. And usually I bring throwing knives to take out the clones, so it did get clustered and I did die the first time for my own greed. Second time we parry him, and yeah, crazy damage. Almost skipped the second phase. Unfortunately, I should have R1'd. That would have killed him, but we take him out fast. I've used this weapon for an entire playthrough before, and yeah, let me say it's very strong. Very strong. We're gonna grab some Twinkling Titanites for our future weapons. There's 2 in this short area here. And we're so focused on the cheese that we forget the trap. Parry this guy. Yeah, the poison break is insane. Heavy poison damage. Just run through the rest of this area, to be honest. Watch out for the teleporting dogs. And we'll be back for that DLC very shortly. Just keep running through this area. Definitely don't die. But we do manage to open the shortcut. And we'll head over to the Deacons very shortly. Just a quick deep check. Over here we're gonna find more Titanite scales. We will come back for Twinkling Titanites. I forgot about them. Yeah, we kill this ravenous one. Incomprehensible. One more scale to our collection. We need one more for a +2 weapon, which we can get before the Abyss Watchers. As for Deacons of the Deep, just as you would expect, huge weapon, huge damage, and yes, daggers everywhere. Honestly, with any build, this boss fight is pretty simple. Unless it is a DPS check at the end of the day, but if you're not doing a crazy challenge run, this should not be a roadblock. We get some souls. A couple more bosses and we can switch out our weapon, don't worry. We'll kill these guys in a fair way and take on this boss. Mini boss, might I say. Yeah. Although resistant or immune to frost, sorry. The heavy weapon just demolishes him, and yeah, as you can see, crushes his leg. Huge damage as well. We'll be needing the Halvers later, so nice to have it right now. Our next weapons are dex based primarily. 2 sides, one of them gets an A scaling index, one of them gets an S scaling index. And yeah, we need some faith and some intelligence before we can use those weapons as well, so we'll begin investing. Just take out every single fire. Using a Thrall Axe for the quick step ability. Helps us get through the swamp fast. And yeah, our 3rd Ravenous Crystal Lizard, and we'll get a scale from him. Or 2 scales from him, actually. And yeah, we can finally take on the Abyss Watchers. I expect these guys to go down insanely fast. And yeah, this was a very rough Abyss Watchers fight. One of my roughest fights ever since my first playthrough. I have no idea what got into me. I just could not get a backstab. I kept rolling into their attacks. It was rough. With second phase though, still choppy. Still very choppy. But we do get it first try. Really good damage, but second phase just has more hyper armor. But in the end, the Abyss Watchers go down with relative ease. We can make our way through Catacombs of Karthus, nothing much to see here. This weapon is especially useful against these skeleton mobs though, because of pure strike damage. Knock down that bridge for later, and we can begin taking on Wolnir, which, as expected, goes down insanely fast. Any weapon, to be honest, just it's the range that matters in this fight, in my opinion. we can make our way through Earthel of the Boreal Valley. We can finally find our new weapons. I know, hopefully you guys have been waiting for a switch up. We'll kill this dog in a completely fair manner. I love this level design of this area, by the way. It's one of my favorites in the series. We'll make our way, just run past all the enemies. Grab a bone shard. Grab this bonfire. We'll come back later for it. We'll run through this area where we can finally find the place where we can get our weapons. As for the curved sword, the Pontiff Knife curved sword, we can actually obtain it from Grey Rat's questline. I did not do it here, but you can easily farm it. It's a high drop chance. It'll take a few runs, and then the scythe as well. Just a few runs, and we got the scythe. Neither of these weapons have innate frostbite damage, but they're still very interesting weapons nonetheless. The L2 on the scythe, which we will be using more since it's a less common weapon. It basically enchants it with frostbite damage, 55, and it has innate bleed as well, which is quite useful. We'll find some more Twinkling Titanites to upgrade this bad boy. Just backtrack the areas and clean up what we've missed. And actually, because of the DLC, which we will enter shortly, we can get a +5 weapon before even battling Pontiff, which is very, very, very useful. And we'll make our way into the DLC right now to grab those upgrade materials. We can head into the DLC to get 4 Twinkling Titanites, sorry. One of them's on the roots. He'll just kill himself, you don't need to worry. Another one's in the Corvian settlement under this very annoyingly placed Corvian Knight. No idea how we got this, to be honest. And to progress, we'll kill Wilhelm in a very fair manner. Progress through the final part of this DLC, heading towards the chapel basement with all the flies. And behind an illusory wall, we'll find 2 Titanite lizards, containing each a Twinkling Titanite, putting us at 6 out of 8 Twinkling Titanites. Now we can get 2 more from trading in the large leather shield and prism stones to snuggle the crow. There we go, +4. As of Titanite slab, we can grab one in the DLC. By killing this tree, it'll actually unlock a ladder, which we can climb up and grab our Titanite slab. Behind that tree also was a frost sorcery, Snap Freeze, which creates a cloud of frostbite, which deals, I think, 15 damage, frostbite damage per take. Very useless in my opinion. As for our scythe, we can get to +5, S scaling and dexterity, which is very, very nice. Alright damage, not the best, not the worst. Scythes in this game aren't the best in my opinion. Nothing too special about them. Yeah, we can invest some more into dex and take on Pontiff Sullivan. And as you might expect, a maxed out special weapon at this point in the game is going to do numbers. Especially when you can riposte. Just wait up for the opportunities, parry, riposte, yeah, chunks of health are gone. I'm sure you can do more damage with a better weapon, but we're showcasing frost and we're using a frost weapon, so just bait out every parryable attack, the ones that are easy to parry, and riposte. Now I did get greedy near this point, otherwise it would have been a very clean Pontiff Sullivan fight, but it is what it is. Just a bit of frostbite over there, and yeah, take him out super fast. Could not even clone himself. One of the best Pontiff fights I've had so far. Very, very nice. We'll make our way towards Aldrich, and Aldrich, hit or miss boss in my opinion. Sometimes goes down so fast and so easy, he'll miss you every single time, and sometimes he'll just spam the most annoying attacks. But yeah, he's very weak to frostbite, and Unfortunately, I did not have the thought to bring my dagger, which is infused with chaos, which would reset frostbite every time I would frostbite him. That was just crazy, crazy numbers on him. But yeah, even without he goes down in 2 tries, we can head towards the dancer. I did kill Yorm, but off camera, as it was just a very standard Yorm fight. Yorm could not be frostbitten, he's immune. And yeah, I'm not using this weapon against Yorm. I'm just not doing it. As a dancer, because this weapon does have bleed, we can bleed her out, but it's not very high, nor can we buff or infuse this weapon, so it's just, if it happens, it happens. Dancer is immune to frostbite though, as she is from the Boreal Valley. Yeah, we almost get it first try. Did get greedy. Yeah, this one stung. Great damage though. Ooh. We come back though, and she goes down just as simple. The damage at this point is very good, as yeah, it's a +5 special weapon. It does start to taper off around this point, but thankfully we do find a new weapon over here, the Erythal Rapier. It is dropped by a Outrider Knight right here in the basement of the what do you even call it? Underneath the building with the dragon on top of it. But yeah, with this we can just lure him out towards the fire-breathing dragon and yeah, make him kill him. Just got chillier for a little bit. There we have it. After this we have one more weapon, which will, it's going to be a journey to get. Yeah, this weapon actually surprised me the most. This along with the scythe actually, these 2 weapons were pretty decent. We'll try out the unupgraded rapier. We did waste a lot of our Twinkling Titanites, but yeah, we'll try this weapon on the old Demon King. Range not great, as to be expected with a rapier in this game. With an underleveled rapier against the old Demon King, we're doing alright damage. He is a tanky boss. Usually he would be the last boss, or one of the last bosses I would fight in a playthrough, if I would even fight him. Usually I just skip him because honestly pointless. Free souls I guess, but yeah, he goes down super fast. Not hard. Just weird attacks, weird tells, but it's a mid-game boss, nothing too extravagant. But we get him free souls. I did switch back to the scythe because I didn't have enough Twinkling Titanites for the rapier to get to +5, +4 even. We're gonna pick up some Titanite chunks and scales along the way just to upgrade our dagger and up and coming Frida scythe. And we can finally take on Osiris. Just try to get to his room first. Osiris is very susceptible to frostbite. Once again, I completely forget to use my dagger to reset the frost, so it is just a standard Osiris fight for most of the fight. Yeah, this one he charges every single time for some reason. The second I go slightly in front of his legs, he just charges. And yeah, we do not live through this run. I did play poorly, but yeah, the charge just comes out of nowhere. Second time around, we stick to his behind. Even if he charges, we can hopefully not get hit. Easy tail swipe. On this one, I still forget to use the dagger. Tell me how none of those hit. Please tell me how none of those hit. But yeah, Osiris goes down. We finally have access to Archdragon Peak, which has a ton of Twinkling Titanites and other upgrade materials, so we can finally switch out the weapon. And yeah, we can get him to +4 and +5. And the Rapier is a quality weapon, scaling off both dex and strength equally. Thankfully, we did dump some points into strength, and yeah, look at the frostbite damage. Takes chunks out of him. This fight, I do remember to use a dagger to reset the frost. Just look at how quickly it builds up. 2 hits, and yeah, he's frostbitten. Once again, played horribly by me. It has been a while, I admit, since I played this game fully. But yeah, frost. This boss so far has been the most susceptible to frost. It does make this, dare I say, it cheeses him. 2 hits and a chunk of his health gone, so yeah, easy fight. Now we can take on Black Flame Frida, which I don't get on my first try, unfortunately, but I do get on my second try. I of course summon Gale. I need to make him bearable. I'm sorry, I hate this fight. Yeah, first fight, I don't play very well. The second one I do, but yeah. I did kill Frida, and I did get her weapon. Trust me on that. And it's a scythe. It's not a power stance weapon, although one might think it is. You have to hold down L2, and you do a slow walk with the pure magic damage scythe. Yeah, very interesting moveset. Very, very unique weapon. Very cool weapon. Not sure if it's worth it yet. All that pain and suffering to kill Frida. Yeah, hopefully it does damage. Yeah, it does not do damage. It's the second scythe. I think if we level up intelligence, it would have done some wonders, but we'll see. As for the Outrider Knight, we can't openly cheese him, so we actually have to fight him. Huge damage, huge numbers with the charge attack. Yeah, we can parry him. Riposte. Yeah, I don't know how I was ever scared of these guys. He's so easy. The more you know. Now we can finally obtain the drip. We'll respec, dump some into int so we can make the L2 a bit more usable. And take on Lorien and Lothric. I love this fight. This is my favorite fight in the base game. One of my favorite in the entire series, actually. However, I play this horribly. I get super greedy. Yeah. What I suspected was going from two-handed to single-handed to take out the dagger. It puts a little bit of a delay on the roll. So second run, I go one-handed scythe. And yeah, Lorien's also one of the bosses susceptible to frostbite, so not as substantial as Dragon Slayer armor, but very useful. Yeah, Lorien, Lothric, they go down without major difficulties. It just, you gotta single-hand the weapon, otherwise you will get caught. You won't be able to roll fast. The windows are very tight in this boss fight, so just get into the rhythm, keep one hand, and you'll be coming out victorious. We can put the cinders on their rightful thrones. And we can finally take on the final boss of this game, Soul of Cinder, which can be frostbitten, however resistant. And it's been a very long time since I fought Soul of Cinder, so quite rough at the start. Phase 1, very rough. We do punish him, however, he does not do that much damage. So we do take hits, but we can trade, and we do eventually get past the first phase, first try. Second phase, a lot easier in my opinion. We just need to watch out for the wombo combo, the 5-hit baseball stance. However, he does go down without major difficulties. And yeah, that is it. Very, very interesting build. Usable about half of the time. So my closing thoughts with Frostbite build in Dark Souls 3 is that it's alright. I mean, sometimes it's very good, sometimes it's just you're left with lackluster damage, especially in the DLC, which I did experiment with, but there's just nothing worthwhile in there. Earthos Straight Sword, very basic weapon. We didn't use it much at all. It's decent. A lot of people have used it. Pontiff Knife Curse Sword, it's got a bit of a reputation in the community. Good moveset. Good damage, decent damage. It doesn't have that innate frostbite though, so it's very... it's hard to frostbite enemies with this because you have to L2, it takes a lot of stamina, it takes a lot of FP, it takes a lot of time. Yeah, Earthor Rapier, this is probably the best weapon on this list. I would say it's tied with Vort's Great Hammer. It does numbers. Rapiers in this game are not good from what I've used. And yeah, this one, it was a surprise. You do get it later in the game. If you're good at Dancer, you can get it very early. But yeah, very decent weapon. Very, very, very decent. In some fights, like Dragon Slayer Armor we saw. Pontiff Knight Gravesight? Pontiff Knight Gravesight. Oh, Pontiff Knight Gravesight, sorry. It's good. It's quite a surprise, honestly. The weapon art's useful. And yeah, compared to Frida's Scythe though, yeah, this was a huge disappointment. It just does not do numbers. It's got a very nice moveset. I imagine it's quite good in PvP. It's a unique weapon, and it's very interesting. However, the L2, it leaves you open, it takes so long, and it just doesn't do numbers, man. What can I say? For the time that you get it, for the boss you have to kill, it's just, yeah, not good. Overall though, oh, and yeah, Vort's Great Hammer, which is quite probably the best weapon on this list. It's amazing. It does very, very good damage. Lots of frostbite. A lot of poison damage. Yeah, you get it so early that you could just kill two easy bosses, get this weapon, and just never switch it out. You don't have to worry about anything after this. So yeah, just between this and the Earthor Rapier, I would get both. Since, you know, quality weapon, strength weapon, see which one you like. But yeah, you can't go wrong with those two. If you've watched this video, thank you for sticking around, and I will have a much, much nicer video coming out, much more interesting. It's about Bloodborne, and yeah, leave suggestions in the comments. And I love Dark Souls 2, I love Dark Souls 3, I love Dark Souls 1, so if you got an interesting build, some unique weapon type, or anything, just let me know down in the comments. Hopefully the audio quality, the editing, it does get better. First video admittedly, so I just thought I'd make something that I'd like to try. It's been a while since I played Dark Souls 3, I wanted a reason to finish it again. I usually just get halfway, get stuck somewhere, and, you know, drop the game, because a lot of the times the weapons in this game, they're not usable. They are usable, but some weapons are just so much better than others that sometimes it just feels pointless. So that's why my personal favorite to run through again and again and again in the series is Dark Souls 2, just because there's so much viable weapons, there's so many routes you can take, and I feel like that would make an interesting video. So just, yeah, let me know. I have some stuff ready in the dome. Yeah, thank you for watching. See ya.